Hey everybody, what's up? You can see the cover for this right here, what this video is going to be about. But I thought I'd kind of talk about something that is, I was thinking about today, and well actually yesterday, for the past couple of days, and I don't know, I'm going to probably put it to text in some manner. Whether it's short text or detailed text. But I kind of thought I'd mention this, if you will, due to the fact that I find it kind of ironic that something's happening in the Mega Man book, and obviously it's going to happen in the Sonic book leading up to the crossover, and it just makes me wonder if perhaps this is going to have anything to do with the redesign of the characters. You can see down there, it asks the question, will second whitewash or second whiteout result in character redesigns? I'm just saying, because there's always some kind of an effect or lasting effect on the characters and on the book when this happens. So, it makes you wonder if perhaps in some way that we're going to have the second whiteout, if you know what I mean, be the cause of that. A lot of people are pretty much asking, well, how are we going to get these redesigns? Or how are these redesigns going to, come to be in the next year or so? How is it going to happen? Or within this year, how is it going to happen? How are these redesigns going to take place? And when you think about it, when Genesis had the same situation, there were some after effects, as people have duly noted. There have been some after effects. So, it makes you ask the question. Of, will the redesigns that are being presented, whether it's overall redesigns facially and clothing wise, or just whatever, just clothing or whatever, will these redesigns be because of what's happened or what's going to happen with the second whiteout kind of situation? Because you got to ask yourself that question. Is this going to be the result of that in some manner? Honestly, the more I think about it, folks, the more I kind of look at it and think, this might be how the redesigns come about, because there's no other explanation. You just can't have a character pop out of nowhere and be like, hey, look at me, I got a new makeover. Or whatever. You just can't have that happen. You've got to have some kind of logical explanation. And I know a lot of people, a lot of fans out there will kind of look at Ian Flynn, and they kind of they'll kind of, look at the word logical, and they'll look at Ian Flynn, and they'll go like, that doesn't mix. That's like trying to put together water and oil and motor oil and water. It doesn't mix. It doesn't work. So, it makes you wonder if perhaps this second whiteout that apparently is going to happen, because somebody basically said with Mega Man, if you will, with Mega Man, you have a second whiteout. You do. You have a second whiteout occur. And it happens in Mega Man, so it's bound to happen in Sonic 47, if not in the Super Special or whatever. Not Super Special, I mean the Free Comic Book Day issue, the FCBD. So you're bound to have something happen in one of those scenarios, mostly 47, and it kind of gets you wonder, and you have to look at that and say, hey, you know, that might make sense. You know, once everything gets restored, maybe that will be the effects. And you have to admit, you know, Jonathan 83X, Laser X Spy, EK, Ezekiel, Digimon 11, you know, Double X, Miko, Double X, and anybody else watching this and listening, you have to admit that does kind of make some sense. I mean, how else, again, like I said, are these redesigns going to take place? You can't just have them take place out of nowhere. You got to have a reason for them happening. You got to have a reason for them happening. And perhaps, this is just me, perhaps it's going to be a specific set of characters. Like there's a specific set of characters that are, because they're always involved with each other, they're always around each other, they're always constantly fighting each other, that perhaps they're end up being the ones physically affected by this change. But then again, I could be wrong. What I'm trying to say though, what I'm trying to point out though is everybody that's complained and has, you know, complained or has embraced these new redesigns that are coming, one question they will have in common, like I said, those that that don't like these redesigns and those that embrace them, basically the one question they all have in common is, how are these redesigns going to come about? And again, it's like the title says, the title asks down below. It asks second whiteout to, to cause the character redesigns, or to be the reason for character redesigns, or something like. It's going to say something like that. But again, you have to ask yourself that question. You have to say to yourself, he might just have a point. And like I said, I'm going to try to explain this in some way in detailed text, in some kind of text form in some of the message boards. But again, you have to look at it and say, and you got to ask yourself, the question of, does that make sense? And to me, honestly, it does. It does make some kind of sense, because in a way, how else are you going to have the redesigns take place? Either they're temporary redesigns or permanent redesigns, or what? How are you going to get them to take place? It's like Ian Flynn has said constantly, there's more going on, there's more to these redesigns and how they're going to come about than we want to give credit for. But the question is, folks, how are they going to come about? In my personal opinion, I feel they're going to come about because of what takes place with this crossover and the whiteout leading into it and the whiteout that's going to lead out of it. I'm just saying, folks, because you got to admit it does make some kind of sense. And, because again, you got to have some kind of reason. Heck, I was watching Linkara's History of the Teen Titans video, hour-long video, if you will, two-parter. And he basically said, and I think it was in part 1, that Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, whatever you want to call her, or Troyana, always had a reason or a story, some kind of reason or story that led up to her having a new outfit and a new look. So, when she first did it, according to what he said, she did it because she decided to. She decided she needed a new look. She felt that, I guess for the times being the 60s, that her outfit was a little too raunchy. So she decided to go, or 60s going into 70s, felt that her outfit was a little too raunchy, and decided to go with the outfit one of the outfits she was most famous for, the red leotard outfit, and decided to let her hair hang down. And I guess now applied lipstick and stuff like that. But still, she remained the same. She still had the same personality. You know, the point is, they gave her a reason as to why the redesign took place. The new outfit came to be. And then he explained that the same thing happened again later on, and they gave her another outfit and a new code name called Troyana. I think that's what it was. So they had another reason and another story arc for why she had to, for her, basically a new origin kind of retold and everything, and thus have a new outfit to go with her new code name. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I feel that this whiteout, I could be wrong, but I feel this whiteout could be the result, could be and possibly can be the result of the new redesigns, or the reasoning, I should say, for the redesigns. Could be how the redesigns come about. Now, I know some of you might say, well, that's stupid. There's no way they would do that. Can you think, let me ask you this, can you think of any other logical reason? I can't. I truly can't. I mean, if you can, let me know, but I think this is how it's going to come about. And whether, like I said, the redesigns are temporary, permanent, or whatever, I feel that this is how it's going to come about. I mean, when I looked at the Valiant cover for 250, and how they kind of made all the characters for that collector's cover in chibi mode, and all that, or cutesy mode, as some people put it, the Death Egg was in the background. So it definitely tells you it is part of the continuity. And that's why I feel, because this crossover is going to be part of the continuity in some way, that this whole whiteout situation that's took place recently in an issue of Mega Man, is going to take place in 247 of Sonic, is going to be the reason for the redesigns. I know you may not agree with that. I know you might say, oh, well, that's not going to be how it happens. It's going to be another logical reason. Again, I ask. I ask you, but then again, I ask. Tell me then, what is a logical reason can you think of? Because I can't think of any logical other reason than that. And in a sense, and if you will, take a moment and think about it. Everybody's saying we need a storyline reason. We need a story. We need some kind of reasoning for the redesigns. Well, whether you want to like it or not, here's your reason. Here's your story for it happening. I know nobody wants to hear it, but there you go. I know it doesn't make a lick of sense in the eyes of some, but when you think about it, it actually does. So, that's basically what I feel is going to happen. That is basically how I feel these redesigns are going to take place. Like I said, the best example I got, if you will, was watching that Linkara video and how they did the whole Donna Troy getting new outfits, new hairdo kind of deals, things like that. I know that's a silly comparison, but you kind of get the idea. Now, I know some people may not agree with this theory, and that's fine. You have a right to your opinion, but it's what I feel. But I basically feel that's how the redesigns are going to come about. It's going to be because of this second whiteout, both into the crossover and going out of the crossover. So that's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment and video response if you like, and I'll talk to you later.